Merry Christmas, everyone. I hope you guys had an amazing Christmas. I'm not gonna lie, you guys, like, yesterday was probably the most chill Christmas I've had in a while. All I did was I basically spent the day playing Minecraft on the Neurocraft server with like Minnie and Kamimi and a bunch of our other friends, and we were basically preparing for the whole big Minecraft event. I spent like 4 hours looking for cocoa beans so that Kamimi could make cookies, and it was so freaking insane. It was so difficult, but I had a lot of fun. It was really, really fun. Daisy, thank you so much for the 9 months. Can we get a no weighing? Thank you so much. Thank you very, very, very much. But yes, I spent like 4 hours trying to do that, and then I got lost and I found a bunch of other goodies, and we're basically all working together to make tiny little gifts. And I was really excited for it because honestly I didn't have a lot of plans. My mom and my family was originally supposed to come down for Christmas, and she debated me and told me last minute that she would not be able to make it anymore. And I was like, okay, so you freaking hate me? That's totally fine. I'm not hurt at all. Surely not. So my mom and my grandma are not going to be coming down to visit me until this weekend. So I'm gonna have to wait until then. I don't really have any plans until then, and that's totally okay. I don't really mind. It's just because like Christmas flights were too expensive, and it happens very often. It's totally fine. It's okay. So I just kind of like hung out with some friends on the Neurocraft server. It was really wholesome. I really enjoyed it, and I really enjoyed being able to see all of the gifts that everyone came up with and all of the little decorations that we had. For the record, I spent 3 hours looking for a pony that looked like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I just want to like put that out there. I spent 3 hours looking for a little pony that I could call Rudolph, and yeah, I hope people enjoyed it. We didn't really get a lot of time to look at it because I think Neuro and Vettel had to go to bed pretty soon, since they didn't hop onto the Minecraft server until pretty late in the night. But I had a lot of fun. It was really fun being able to see the little letters from Santa and all of the gifts and surprises that we had worked to make come together. I made my first few cakes ever, and I was like, oh my gosh, we get to make cakes, we get to make cookies. I get to like be the scavenger of the group, while like Minnie was making the super cute decorations. Kamimi was making like the cool stage and the Christmas tree. So it was really nice to see everyone work together. Your dedication was astounding. Thank you. I'm glad you guys liked it. Like, I'm not trying to take credit for anything, but I did have a really good time helping out. I feel like being able to spend time with friends on holidays and stuff like that means a lot to me. So I had a really good time despite me not having like any family to spend Christmas with. But yeah, basically that happened. It was a chill time. I really enjoyed it, and I was like, okay, Christmas is over, having a normal time. Let's just relax tonight. Let's just have a good time, okay? So I'm just chilling out. We sing together, we travel together, we open gifts together. Yeah, the cookies are so cute, and they were able to be made because of you. You know, I did spend a very long time looking for a jungle. Honestly, I spent a very long time, so I'm glad everyone liked it. But yeah, I basically was just trying to have a chill time. 2,000 blocks. Yeah, I basically traveled 4K blocks total to get the cocoa beans, and then another like 4K blocks total for the horse that would become Rudolph. So there's a lot of journeying throughout all of that into the dense jungles. Very, very tough. But yeah, I just wanted like a chill time, chill end to my night, when I start hearing like some screaming in the background, and I think that's like relatively normal. It's not a big deal, honestly. It's like, okay, maybe someone's really excited about Christmas. I'm excited about Christmas too. I love Christmas. This is great. So I was like, okay, this is fine. I'm just gonna keep working, just gonna keep sitting at my table, totally fine. And so I'm like, okay, whatever, it's totally fine. Then 30 minutes pass or so, and there's more screaming, and I'm like, oh my god, okay, I guess someone was really upset with their white elephant gift. I don't know, maybe they were really upset about it. They really didn't enjoy it. I don't freaking know. I should mind my own business. It's not a big deal. And also, I'm gonna shift the sub goal over here. I think I like seeing it with you guys. Actually, no, it looks too empty. We'll put it back there. But I was like, okay, maybe they were just like really really upset about their gift that they got for Christmas. And then I ignore it again, but I hear them screaming again this time. And it's like kind of alarming, I would say. The screaming that I hear is quite alarming. There's some pretty serious stuff being shouted. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a huge Christmas person, as much as I'm saying that it's a lot of fun and I like spending time with people for Christmas. I don't really do much on Christmas typically. I eat and that's it. But I'm hearing like a lot of insults that are not very Christmassy, not very Christmas spirit of them. This guy is talking about how like someone's a stupid fucking bitch and a fucking whore, and I'm like, whoa, okay, this sounds kind of bad. All right, so I'm just listening in to see the severity of the situation, and there's like a lot of the shouting, and it's been going on for a while. I didn't really get to hear it until afterwards, and it sounds like whoever this is in my apartment complex is like they've been pacing back and forth and like screaming nonstop. It's been like hours, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is pretty bad. This is pretty horrid because it's past midnight at this point, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is kind of scary. So I'm like, oh, maybe I should like check on them. Like, I think I might want to. And the craziest thing is I was actually recording something for my Night Toma radio. And my Night Toma radio, for those of you guys that don't know, start taking notes. There will be a quiz. But Night Toma radio is basically a radio segment filled with pre-recorded content that I typically play during subathons. And because I'm planning on having a subathon for my birthday in January with a new model debut, I've been recording a lot of content off stream. And I think at certain points throughout my recording, I stop multiple times and I'm like, hey guys, I think I might check to see what's going on outside. It sounds like someone's really angry. Sounds like someone's really like not happy right now. Maybe I should go outside and check to see what's going on. Let me check real quick. And you can actually hear screaming in the background. You can hear me like stop my video, and it starts and stops and starts and stops all over again because I keep like checking to see what's going on. But basically I was like kind of nervous, not really sure. When you guys see the Night Toma radio segment, you might hear it, you might see it, you might be able to notice what's going on, and it might be submitted as evidence if it goes to court, which is kind of crazy to think about. But basically true crime at this point. And I'm like, okay, this is kind of concerning. So I call some of my friends and I'm like, hey, Merry Christmas, by the way. I'm not too sure what I should do in this situation because I've never been in this situation where I think there's like someone in my apartment complex that's like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I should jump to conclusions, because I feel like that's a thing that a lot of people do, where they just jump to conclusions and they're like, oh, yeah, like something bad is happening right now when it's not that big of a deal. So I was like, oh, I don't want to jump to conclusions. Like, maybe I should just see what's going on. And all my friends are like, actually, I mean, like, how long has this been going on for? And I'm like, well, it's been going on for like a couple hours. You know, hi Kate, everyone say hi. Thank you very much. And I'm like, okay, a couple hours it's been happening. And they're like, okay, Toma, just want to let you know, if someone's been yelling for a couple hours, that's not very typical. And I was like, oh, is it not? Like, are you sure? That's crazy. You might want to cut out the parts of the yelling. I'll see if I can. They're all relatively like muffled, so I'll see if it's possible. But I was like, yeah, it's been going on and off for a couple hours. I'm not sure if I should like be concerned, because maybe it's your typical couple that's fighting. I don't want to step on anyone's toes. And I start hearing like things being thrown right as I say that. And my friends can hear it because there's like things being thrown at walls. And it's really loud. I think there's a difference between like maybe throwing your boba drink or throwing your phone at the wall. And there's a difference between that and throwing tables and like desks and like straight up like full on large items. So I was like, oh my God, this sounds kind of scary. Like, I don't hear any glass being broken. I don't hear any glass being thrown, but there's some large object that is constantly being thrown around to the point where I can feel the vibrations on the floors and the walls. Like, my apartment is shaking because of how much, like, how many items are being thrown. And I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what's going on, but this sounds like it could be something serious. I feel like I should see what's going on. It's really scary. Like, it sounds really bad. I thought it was just a typical couple arguing. Maybe they're really going out of hand, but like, holy shit, it's crazy. Gun, thank you very much for the half year, by the way. Thank you very, very much. Can we get a lubbers in chats? Thank you very much for the half year. But yeah, I'm just like, okay, this is like, oh, okay, it's kind of violent, it's kind of scary, and I'm hearing more shouting and more throwing and more things like shaking around in the apartment, and I'm like, oh my god, this is kind of scary. I think I should call the police. I'm not sure if I should involve the police, but it sounds kind of scary. Like, it's not just a little violent, it's been a couple hours and it's been ramping up in intensity. Like, this doesn't seem normal. I don't know. So I'm like, okay, I think I'm gonna call the police. I'm a little scared. So I go into the farthest area of my apartment, like where no one can hear me. I'm in the bathroom and I'm whispering in the bathroom, and I don't know what to do because I'm not gonna lie, you guys, I don't usually call the police. I don't usually call 911. The last time I called 911, it's because I witnessed a crime and I was like 15 and someone got stabbed in front of me on a public bus. So the last time I called the police, I didn't really know what to do either, and I was kind of frozen, and I was like, oh my gosh, hi, I don't know what to do, but like someone's gotten stabbed in front of me and I don't know what to do. And it was on my way to school. I was like 15 and someone just like ran by and stabbed this man in front of me for no reason. So I was like, oh my god, that's really scary, and I didn't really know what to do. Because it was like my first time calling the police in like years. So I was like, oh my god, hi, I'm not really sure what to do here, but like it looks like someone in this apartment complex might be going through like a dangerous situation. I'm a little scared for her safety right now, because it sounds like it's gone from verbal to physical action, and I'm a little nervous. If we could get something to like fix things, I'm not really sure. Like, I literally don't know what to do in this situation. Like, am I supposed to butt in? Do I say something? Do I stay indoors? Like, what do I do? And a lot of my friends told me, like, I think you should just stay quiet. Like, you might be, maybe you're just like butting into business that's not yours. And I was like, no, I feel like personally something like this could not be okay. Like, even if they are just fighting, if someone's fighting for like 3 hours and yelling at each other during Christmas of all days, like something has to be wrong. Something has gone horribly wrong, and I don't even think that that's normal at all. So I was like, oh my god, yeah, I think I'm just gonna call the police. And then afterwards, while the police are on their way, like this guy leaves. I hear the door open and I'm like, oh my god, I didn't realize that they're so close by. So this guy leaves and he like goes down the hallway, down the stairs to where the elevators are and stuff. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's pretty good. It sounds like maybe this guy has left the area. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. I think I'm just gonna like see what's going on. Maybe not the smartest thing for me, but I just could not stand like knowing that something was happening and not doing anything. So I was like, oh my gosh, this guy just left. I think it's safe for me to like maybe quietly knock on the door and see what's going on. If this girl needs help, like I need to see if she's okay. So while this guy's gone, okay, he's like 20-30 feet away, by the way. Just wanted to let you guys know, like, he is so far gone, you can't even see me from where I am. And I'm like, okay, I think it's probably fine. He literally can't see me. He doesn't know that I'm there. And I'm like, okay, he's gone. I think it's okay. It's been a while. He's not coming back. So I step out, I open the door, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And I try knocking on the door, and I'm like, hey, are you okay? And the moment I do that, this guy runs. I think he heard me trying to like quietly knock on the door, and he doesn't just walk by, he sprints. Like, he sprints from the elevators down the hallway, up the stairs to come to me. And I was like, whoa, like, this is insane. Personally, I didn't think that like someone would run. Like, oh my god, this is crazy. Like, you didn't come back, and the moment you heard me trying to reach out to my neighbor, like, you decided that I should, like, you should run to me? That's crazy. Oh my god. And I was just like, oh, okay. And this guy's like, hey, what's going on? And I was like, oh, I'm just like, hanging out, you know, like I just wanted to say hi, like Merry Christmas to you guys, because I didn't get to say it today. But yeah, I just wanted to say Merry Christmas to you guys. It's a little late, but wanted to say that. And this guy's like, I don't know what your deal is, but you need to mind your own fucking business. And if you know what's good for you, you need to stay inside of your fucking apartment and don't try to talk to me again. If you try to open up this fucking door, like, you're gonna get what's coming to you. And I was like, oh, okay. Damn. Like, that's crazy. Personally, I think that's an insane thing to say in response to someone that's just like, hey, I'm just chilling out, bro. Like, I don't know why you're like threatening me. Like, actually, no chill. So I was like, oh, okay. Kind of crazy, kind of insane. And this guy like barges into his own door, and like, it's just 100% sus. Like, I don't know what's going on. And I was like, oh my God, okay. It feels like you have something to hide. It sounds kind of dangerous. Like, that is not okay. Something is going on here, because I feel like if nothing had happened, he would have just been like, oh, hey, you know, maybe don't stay out when it's super late. It might be kind of dangerous for you. You know, you shouldn't be out alone at night. And I'm like, okay, yeah, sure, that's fine. But the fact that like this guy heard me trying to check in on his girlfriend and ran like 30 feet to come see me in like 10 seconds and then threatened me and told me not to leave my apartment is crazy. Like, oh my God, that is so crazy. Like, something had happened. So I'm just like sitting in my room, and the police come. Okay, the police come and they knock on this guy's door at first, and the guy's like, you need to stay the fuck out, stop trying to get in here. And I was just like sitting there listening from inside my own room, and I was like, oh. And the police officers knock on the door again, and they're like, and this guy's like, I told you already, you're just a small fucking girl. I don't know what your fucking deal is. You need to stop trying to get inside. And I was like, oh. And he opens the door, and there's like two tall policemen, and they're like, hi, it's the police. And this guy's like, oh. And these two policemen are like, so, what's going on here? And this guy's like, oh, like, nothing's going on here. I don't know why people are calling, like, complaints and shit. I didn't do anything wrong. Like, I literally didn't do anything. And I was like, just sitting here listening the entire time. And I was like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. Like, this is insane. So I like recorded some of it. I didn't even check the footage yet, so I don't know if I can show it, but I was like, oh my God, this sounds so freaking insane, because I feel like personally, if the police come to see you, the first thing you should do is probably remain calm. And the fact that this guy sounds very like violent and aggressive from the get-go, not only towards like this other person, but also to me, and also to like the police officers, is insane. So I was like, oh my God, he did not remain calm. Holy shit. So then he starts arguing and like really getting angry, because he's like, oh my gosh, I think like this girl just keeps trying to bother me. Like, I'm not trying to do anything. I really did nothing. And I was like, oh my God. And this police officer says, actually, no, it wasn't a girl that called in. I don't know who you think it is, but there was a man in this apartment complex, and he's been complaining about noise complaints. Like, he's been complaining about noise complaints. So this man called in and reported. So we're gonna have to do some investigation. And this guy was like, I don't know what your fucking problem is. It literally wasn't me. I didn't do anything. So whoever the fuck, and he's screaming it so loudly so that everyone in like the nearby vicinity can hear, but he's screaming so loudly, and he's like, whoever the fuck reported me to the fucking cops, you need to show up right now and speak to me face to face, because if you think you want to mess with me and you want to get into my fucking business when I'm not doing anything wrong, you have a fucking problem. And I'm just sitting here and I'm like, oh my God, whoa, like this guy's insane. Oh my God. And I was like, whoa, okay, that's not very good of you to say. Like, calling out someone to fight in front of the police is kind of crazy. wild. And unfortunately, because there was like no evidence or anything, like they couldn't do anything, but they are going to be checking at like multiple times this week just to make sure everything's all right. But I think that's just the way that this usually works, you know. In cases like this, it's difficult for the police to be able to do anything unless there's actual like recordings of something happening, you know, like unless I have recordings or unless someone can actually like take pictures and show that something's going on, it's difficult to prove that things are happening. And the victim would have to come out and say something. And I think in situations like that, it's very difficult for someone to really step up and say that something's going on. Like it's very difficult. It's very, very difficult. And unless they're willing to really pursue something on their own, there's nothing I can do. But it's definitely very, very tough to say what I can do at this point. But basically all of that happened, and I was like, you know what? In order to prevent anything from happening and to prevent any like further aggravation, I think we're just going to stay away from home for a couple days. Was there someone else in the apartment? Yes, the girlfriend's in the apartment, and I don't know if they checked for any damages. I think in the time that it took the police to come, he might have like cleaned things up, thinking that maybe like he's been found out or something. So I didn't really know what to do, and I basically got into a car late at night, and I was like, well, I think I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna leave, and I'm gonna see if I can hang out with a friend instead so that we can be safe and away from this, because I do think I need to return to my apartment eventually, but it might be better to like let things simmer for a couple days at least, and also to really think about what I can do to stay safe, because the way that this guy ran like 30 feet to try to confront me over silently like knocking on the door is crazy. Okay, absolutely insane. And unfortunately I didn't record anything on my computer. I didn't get to. I like left very quickly. So yeah, it's actually very, very wild, very insane. And yeah, you shouldn't have gone out. Well, I just didn't really know what to do in this situation, and I figured if the perpetrator has left, it's probably okay. No one would have told me that like some man would run 30 feet in 10 seconds to try to like confront me over something. Okay, I didn't think anything would happen. I literally just stood outside my room, and I was like, oops, and then this guy like runs up behind me and tries to like corner me into a little like part of the hallway, and I'm like, okay, it's time to leave. This is too much. I am going to bring it up to the managing office when I can, but yeah, it's just definitely a very very interesting, insane situation. And yeah, like from my knowledge, the guy was gone. Like he definitely was not even close by, so I didn't even know what to do in this situation. Very, very insane. But we're currently at one of our friends, Gil's place, and I drove over. Like, how far did you have to go down your hallway? It was relatively close, actually. It wasn't an insane different like crazy distance. But we're now at Gil's place, and I drove over at like 3 in the morning, and then I sat in the cuck chair while watching Gil play League of Legends with like half of our other friends for like 2 hours. That's basically what I did. I sat in the cuck chair while Gil was playing League of Legends, and I used the mic to talk about what had happened to me the entire time. So yeah, I would definitely have to report it. And yeah, best caster. Thank you. Yeah.